on long-term relationship shows that relationship satisfaction does not decline because love disappeared. It declines because couples often mistake predictable stages of growth for proof that they choose the wrong partner. Hi, I'm Camila Hess, systemic therapist and founder of the Rebel Moms community. Every day I help women escape their emotional prisons by teaching them how to balance motherhood, feminine power, and relationships. If that sounds something like you need, go ahead, hit subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss more content on emotional intelligence. And one of the biggest lies modern relationship teach us is that if love is real, it should feel effortless. But half marriages don't survive because they avoid challenge. They survive because both people understand that every relationship involves stages. And most couples don't break up because they stop loving each other. They actually break up because they don't understand what stage they are in. So the first stage is attraction. This is the easiest stage because everything feels exciting. You focus on familiarity. Chemistry feels effortless. The brain is flooded with dopamine, oxytocin, and novelty. You feel potential everywhere. And because everything feels good, many people assume that this is what love is supposed to feel like forever. But it isn't. So we come to the second stage, the attachment. This is when the relationship begins creating emotional roots. You build routines, create plans, you become emotionally invested. The relationship starts feeling less like excitement and more like home. And that's beautiful. But then comes the stage that most people are not prepared for. The third stage, the disillusion. And this is where most couples give up. Because this is the stage where reality actually arrives. You stop seeing who you hoped they were and start seeing who they actually are. The habits that once seemed cute become frustrating, the difference become visible, the unresolved wounds appear, the communication problem surfaces, the emotional baggage enters the room, and many people think maybe I married the wrong person. But often they're not experiencing the wrong relationship. They experience the end of a fantasy and the beginning of a reality. Which comes to the fourth stage, the power struggle. This is where couples fight over influence, needs, priorities, boundaries, parenting, intimacy, expectations. It's not necessarily a sign that the marriage is failing. It's often the sign that a relationship is actually becoming real. Because now two separate people are trying to build one life together. And that requires negotiation. And the fifth stage is the conscious partnership. This is where emotionally mature couples begin to take responsibility for themselves. Instead of blaming each other constantly, they start asking, what am I doing to contribute to this dynamic? They stop trying to win and start trying to understand. They stop fighting against each other and start fighting for the relationship. This is where true intimacy begins, not because conflict disappears, but because emotional responsibility grows. And finally, sixth stage, the secure love. This is the stage that most people want, but very few are willing to work for. Because secure love is not built on chemistry, but built in trust, respect, repair, consistency, emotional safety, and years of choosing each other through difficult seasons. Here's what I want every woman to listen to understand. Not every marriage should survive. Some relationships are abusive, some are destructive, and some lack accountability completely. But many marriages end in the stage 3 because people mistake discomfort for incompatibility. The truth is that every lasting relationship eventually asks the same question. Can you love someone after the fantasy disappears? Because real intimacy begins the moment the idealization ends, and couples who understand that they are often the ones who build something deeper than romance. They build partnership. If you're already following me, congratulations, you're growing your emotional intelligence every single day. And if you're not, well, you might not never see me again. So follow now and make maturity a lifestyle. Comment below, emotional intelligence is my rebellion, and send this to someone who thinks relationship difficulties automatically means the marriage is over.